Hi guys, welcome back to another cleaning video. So today I am going to take you along with me for my nighttime routine. It's my evening kitchen cleanup routine that I do every night. So in this video you see we were having pasta for dinner, and this is something I like to do. Once I clean out my pot of all the sauce, I like to fill it up with some soap and hot water, and that way it lets the water sit in there, and that way when I'm ready to start cleaning there's nothing that's sticking or gooey and giving me a hard time. Another thing I like to do is always keep my cutting board area nice and clean. As you can see here, I had cut up some bread for some garlic bread, and I always clean up all the crumbs, wipe down the board, so that way if I want to put something down on there, I know that my area is clean and I don't have to worry about that. So my first step in starting my cleanup is I take all our bowls or plates and I put them in the sink and I fill it up with soapy hot water I should say, and let that sit, so it always just makes it easier to wipe any residue off of the plates. So next I move on to putting away all our leftovers. Like that night we had leftover pasta, we had some leftover garlic bread. So I just wrap everything up, put them in containers and put that away. And if there is any pasta that I usually just leave, anything hot, I'll leave it on the table uncovered in the meantime until it cools off a little bit. And I always clean my table first, and am always using soap and water. I know a lot of you guys use these sprays and just wipe down. Let me tell you guys, I am not a fan of that at all. I just find it leaves a lot of residue, and if you go back with water, there's so much like suds and everything that comes off, and like I say, to me it doesn't feel like I'm really cleaning it. It's just really just like a quick wipe, and but for me it is always just soapy hot water. I wipe everything down with that, and then I just go back over and rinse with just water, rinse it, and that's it. Everything's nice and clean and there's no residue. So as you can see, there was quite a big mess left from the pasta water on the stove. So that is always the first thing I do, is completely clean down all my stove before I move on to anything else. The first thing I do is I always wipe down the burner area of the stove and the side counters with soapy water. I also wipe down any items I have there, like my pepper grinder or my salt grinder. Also, I have my coffee machine on the other side. So all those things I like to wipe down with soapy water first. So next I'm moving on to cleaning underneath the hood of the fan. So I do all that area, the sides, backsplash, cupboards. I clean that all with soapy water, and that's something that I do every night after every time I cook. Some people think it's a little bit too much, but for me personally, I find it's a lot of help. It saves me from going back and having to have a big job to do at another day. It just keeps everything also just, it's clean, you don't have smells, and this is something I learned from my mom. We did that growing up. She always completely cleaned her stove every night, and it's something that I always kept up myself. So as you can see, the burner still had quite a bit of marks left on it. So something I always use is the Weinmann glass cooktop cleaner. I'm going to use that along with the scrubbing pad and the cooktop razor scraper. So this is something I have been using forever. It is awesome. It keeps the burners nice and clean and mark free. So I start by putting on the cleaner, and then with the scrubbing pad I just rub that in all over the burner, rub it in really well. And then with the scraper I go ahead and scrape one way, spread out the cleaner, and then I scrape in a different direction. So I usually do that 2 or 3 times all over the burner, and I continue on to the other burner that had a few marks on it as well. So I do that on both of them, and then once it's all scraped and clean, I wipe off all the excess cleaner, wipe it off just with water, and then with my sponge I just soap it up really well, rub it down all over the surface area, and just wipe it down with water until everything is removed. Another thing I do every night is I make sure to clean this area where the handle to the stove is. There are these little vents, there's about 3 of them on our stove. I make sure to clean in there because they are major dust collectors, crumb collectors, and it's just something that I do all the time. That way it keeps it nice and clean and free of any debris. So now it's time to tackle the kitchen sink. I have all my plates and everything there. So what I do is just with my sponge and some soapy water, I just wipe everything down, rinse it off, and put everything into the dishwasher. Cover your eyes, promise not to look, 'cause I got some good news for you. So now on to cleaning all my pots. So I always use the SOS steel wool pads. This is something I grew up using. My mom again used these things all the time, and I like them a lot to keep my pans in excellent condition. Pack your bags, feel the holiday mood. You won't believe what we're about to do, 'cause we're off California. I long to wrap my arms around you. Wanna love and renew you. Do all the things we used to do. Feel my toes in the sand, let my hair in the wind. I feel the love that we once shared. Here we come, California. Come and bring us back to life. Bring us to life. Bring us to life. Bring us to life. I feel stressed and depressed. I feel stuck in a room. Oh baby, baby, get on the place. So now on to filling the dishwasher. Mike calls me the Tetris queen for everything, including filling up the dishwasher. But tonight wasn't too bad. We didn't really have too many items in there, so it wasn't really hard for me to do that. So now I go ahead and just dry the few items that I do wash by hand, like our mugs. We use those every day. My cooking spoon, and also the cheese grater. I just wash all those things by hand, dry them, and then like the cheese grater, I always like to take that and sit it on the stove underneath the lights and let it dry for the rest of the night. Anything like that that's metal, I like to put under something hot, or like my old cheese grater I used to put in the oven because it was all metal. I'd put the oven on low and just heat it up so that way it doesn't rust. So once the dishwasher has been fully loaded, I move on to cleaning my sink. I always start by cleaning my soap dispenser first, and then I clean the sponge and dishcloth holder as well. I clean that with soapy water, sponge it up really well, rinse it down, and then I move on and clean all my countertops and clean down the faucet as well.
Monday to Friday, that's just nothing for me. We've got a life to live, so please don't waste my time.
So the last step is to actually clean down my sink completely. I like to use one of these little scrubbing pads right here, and I also like to use the Vim Cream Bleach. It is an awesome cleaner. I've been using it for years, and it's just something that keeps my sink nice and clean, disinfected, and in the end it's nice and shiny and sparkling. And the reason I like to use the little scrubbing pad to clean down the sink is just basically, it's a preference of mine. It just gives me a grip that I like to clean everywhere in the sink, especially in the drain area, to go into the little crevices and everything, into the hole in the drain. It just makes it that much easier for me. I also just want to mention that I don't clean my sink every day with the Vim Bleach. The Vim Bleach I use once a week to really scrub it down well and disinfect it, but every night after dinner I simply use some dish soap.
We are young, let's be stupid, just you, me, and the night. The one thing we should know is that we got plenty of time. That we got plenty of time. Yeah, we got plenty of time. We got plenty of time. Young and we got plenty of time, and I've got nothing else but you on my mind. We got plenty of time. Yeah, we got plenty of time. We got plenty of time. Yeah.
So knowing that my kitchen is completely cleaned, everything is put away, and the dishwasher is set, makes me able to sit and enjoy the rest of my evening, knowing that everything is done. I'll be honest with you, I cannot leave anything dirty in my sink. It's never happened. You can ask Mike. I've never left anything in the sink or overnight till the next day. I just can't. Honestly, I can't do it. It's in my nature. I have to have everything cleaned and put away, and like I say, that just makes me more relaxed and knowing that everything is done.
If you feel the things I do, I might need some help if you let me go, 'cause I'm flying through the sky and I'm still a little high on you. Still a little high on you. For so long, I've been thinking.
Let me tell you this, let me tell you right now, your exquisite kiss still burning. Didn't know I missed this passion in life. Now I'm addicted somehow. Let me tell you what is up with your smile? It's impossible, not melting, irresistible. When I look through your eyes, not even sky's the limit. I used to be satisfied, stayed over the surface. Now I just can't get enough. You make me feel good like no other. I just want everyone to see what I've discovered. And when I'm with you, I go higher. You lift me up, now I can see so much farther. Beyond the horizon. Beyond the horizon. I'm a butterfly who has only begun, taking me a while to get it. Had to live and cry to appreciate life, and what you give is worth it. When you're holding me, when you hold me so close, I want further in under your skin. Wanna leave a mark so that I can be sure that you remember what's been. I used to be satisfied, stayed over the surface. Now I just can't get enough. You make me feel good like no other. I just want everyone to see what I've discovered. And when I'm with you, I go higher. You lift me up, now I can see so much farther. Beyond the horizon.
So there you have it, guys. This is the nighttime cleaning routine that I do every single night after every dinner. These are the exact steps I do. And some people might think that some of those steps are a little bit too much to do every night, but for me they aren't. Like cleaning the hood of the stove and all the backsplash and stove area, I just find it saves you time in the end. You just give yourself that little extra time every night, but you won't have to spend time deep cleaning the hood of your stove or any of that stuff, or even like the burners on the stove. What happens is the buildup just cakes in. If you don't clean that right away, every time you cook, that just sticks and beads into the stove, and it makes it that much harder for you to clean up. So I rather just do that little bit of work every night, and it keeps everything nice and clean. I really hope you guys enjoyed following along with me today. Let me know in the comments down below, what is your nighttime cleaning routine like? Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Our Life Our Way Official. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and be on the lookout for more cleaning and organizing videos coming soon. Take care. Bye.